Keepers nervous, strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
Hello there, Nigerian football fans and football fans everywhere. Today's video, we're talking about Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen, Nigeria's own dynamic duo. Ademola Lookman yesterday, or rather this past weekend, scored his 50th goal for Atalanta in 109 games, and backing that up with 21 assists. So that means 71 goal contributions in 109 games. That's absolutely amazing in anyone's sort of book, in anyone's sort of estimation of how you want to judge a player's performance. And Victor Osimhen, what can we say about this guy? He's been phenomenal for Lille, phenomenal for Napoli, and now he's been on amazing form for Galatasaray. He scored yesterday to bring his goal contributions for Galatasaray to 28 in 28 games. So that is super amazing. I would say that again. He's been on fine form. So for me, I think these two players, is remiss to say, almost seems redundant to say, but we must say these two players must be on the pitch at the same time for Eric Chelle. If Nigeria is indeed going to qualify for the World Cup, Eric Chelle must have these two players in the team. So Super Eagles fans out there, what your thoughts and opinions are on that. So while you're pondering on that, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you're notified when I post a video on here. So for me, I think they must be in the team going forward. So for me, like I've said, if we're going with this 4-3-1-2 formation, Ademola Lookman is primed and set to play for me as that 10 behind the two strikers, which could be Victor Boniface and Victor Osimhen, or Victor Osimhen and maybe Tolu Arokodare, so, or maybe your Aqua Adams, but both of them must be on the pitch at the same time. So at moments like this, I just feel sad as a Chelsea fan, because he should have been at Chelsea and should have been scoring goals, but that didn't happen. So let's see what happens in the summer. But these two players are Nigerian dynamic duo, and they must be on the pitch together. And when I say Ademola Lookman should play in that 10 role, people say, oh, what, you restricted him playing in 10 role? No, he plays in that 10 role and floats around, just like Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard played in the 10 role for Chelsea, so like behind Diego Costa. So in the same regard, Ademola Lookman can play in that 10 role behind Victor Osimhen and Victor Boniface. And one thing people don't get, because sometimes people see goals and then say, wow, he's scoring so many goals, he should play as a striker. No. Frank Lampard scored tons of goals. I think he's Chelsea's leading scorer at least in the Premier League era. But he's never has been a striker. He never played as a striker. Eden Hazard scored lots of goals, for Chelsea, but he never was a striker. Ronaldinho scored lots of goals for Barcelona, but he never was a striker. So you don't have to be a striker to impact the game. Sometimes, based on how a player plays, if you play them as an out-and-out striker, you would not only hinder them, but you will prevent them from, actually showing their ability on the pitch, having impact on the field of play. Because I think Ademola Lookman can not only score goals, he can create goals with his skill, with his flair, and his eye for that pass that can thread through the eye of a needle. So for me, I think he must start in that position. And then speaking on Ademola Lookman, still, his coach Gasperini has come out of Atalanta, has come out to say he loves. I'm paraphrasing now, that Ademola Lookman loves the club loves him. He's been great for the club. He's coming to the club, and he's been great at the club, and the club has been great because of him as well. That's why until the end of the season, Ademola Lookman will be wearing the armband for Atalanta. Now, while that is all well and good, it's all nice, it's beautiful, it's lovely, but listen up. Ademola Lookman, I don't know if you even watch this channel, maybe you don't know it exists, or maybe you do. Don't sign any contract renewal. Don't sign any new contract. If you want to leave, do not sign any new contract. And funny enough, we're talking about Victor Osimhen, so learn from Victor Osimhen. Learn from Victor Osimhen. because the moment you sign a new contract with Atalanta, what would definitely happen is a ridiculous buyout clause will be inserted in that contract that will make it difficult for you to leave. And then that means you then put the power, your fate, in the hands of Atalanta. And that's not what you want. Because it happened with Victor Osimhen. Similarly, he missed a penalty. Their social media accounts came up and mocked him. He was upset. He wanted to leave. But for whatever reason, he renewed his contract. And then they included that very high buyout clause. Although for me, I don't feel that should have been, an excuse for clubs to not at least negotiate, propose a transfer fee, maybe not on point with the buyout clause, but at least something significant enough for a player of his caliber. So, but you want to avoid that completely. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to even be a discussion that we're talking about any buyout clause, release clause, because coming towards the end of the season, as a free agent, I'm sure clubs in the Premier League, clubs in La Liga will be coming for you, and I think he would shine very well. He would do very well, and who knows, he could even go to a bigger club in the Serie A, because he's the kind of player that an Antonio Conte loves. The kind of player that Antonio Conte loves. So if all else fails, I still think he would end up in the Premier League come next season. If all else fails, I think he could go to Napoli. I know people who say, oh, what Napoli did to Victor Osimhen. You go there and sign a business contract. You don't sign any lovey-dovey contract that keeps you there for 6 years with no route out. You sign a contract and set certain clauses that would allow you leave if an amount comes in, let's say 50 million or 40 million euros, release clause comes in, you can leave. But definitely not at Atalanta. I'm confident he can head to the Premier League because you have Chelsea would be in the market for sure. Arsenal should be in the market for sure if they even want to compete with the Premier League come next season. I think Liverpool, with Salah almost certain to leave, they will be looking for another sort of goal threat, talisman, and I think Ademola Lookman can suit into their system as well, although it would have to be on the other side. So with Salah, it's always he plays as an attacking right winger and cuts onto his left foot to shoot. So this time around, could be Ademola Lookman that's playing as an attacking left winger, cutting on his right to shoot. So for me, that's what I think he should do if he's taking my advice at all. Or you can call me Ademola Lookman. But more seriously now, focusing on the issue at how we're talking about, these two players must play. There's no excuses about it. There's no excuses. There's no we can't play both of them together. Play him, and Ademola Lookman is not a striker. That should be known right now. That idea, if anybody has idea in their brain, you better bury it. Eric Chelle, if you're thinking that you play Ademola Lookman as a striker and he will shine, no, he's going to really struggle, because when you're playing in that striking position, you're coming up against those big centre backs, and you're not running at them, because when you're playing as a 10, you're running at the centre back, so you have the control. You can dribble past them, you can use your skill, you can drop the ball off. But when you're playing as a striker against those big, powerful centre backs, you're going to have your back to goal a lot of the time. You're going to be in that physical battle with them, and they will really ruffle you up. I don't think Ademola Lookman is suited to be a striker, in my opinion. And then Victor Osimhen, he must always start because he scores the goals. He is the spiritual leader of this Nigerian side. I don't care what anyone says. I know after he made the statement about Finidi George and they had their misunderstanding, a lot of Nigerian fans shockingly wanted his career to end. So, but for me, he must start. He gets you the goals, the way he plays, the tenacity with which he plays, how he triggers the press, and the spirit to which he plays. Have you seen Osimhen when he scores a goal? Have you seen how he celebrates? Have you seen how he reacts when his teammate scores goals? Have you seen how he presses? So he must start. So these two players, this dynamic duo, they must start. So what are your thoughts and opinions are on this topic so far? Let me know in the comment section. So at this point, I've come to the end of this video. Hopefully there'll be another video coming up on the channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. So at the minute, I'd like to say do have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye-bye.